Here we go. Top five. Easy. I think easy. Let's see. Top five. I think this is going to be easy for me because holy smokers, this is easily my favorite. And we'll talk when I put them all up here. I'll talk about it. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I don't. Am I going to be able to spot my top five? I like that he has an actual number with that. I think that's cool. Ooh, can I spot my top five? Or am I gonna have to? I'm gonna put amazing and then figure out who my top five is after that. What is amazing? What is amazing? Dude, actually, I'm glad that I'm doing this, and I'll tell you why. Oh, we're having some. Uh, this is gonna be definitely a base list because this is all based off of highly subjective hours of reading this guy. Now, I doubt this list is going to be similar to a lot of people's. Like, is this going to be amazing or top five for most people? This was so good, dude. The ending was so like that Stephen King kind of relating, where he doesn't ride over your head. He makes it very relatable. He makes H.P. Lovecraft downer ending where the guy's just in trapped in this negative space at the end, and it is written like Stephen King. It's like Stephen King made H.P. Lovecraft in his own writing, where you could feel the H.P. Lovecraft even more than H.P. Lovecraft because he seems kind of comical and silly and unrelatable. Stephen King made you kind of feel like the H.P. Lovecraft was kind of making cartoony, silly versions of. It's so good, dude. Blaze is amazing. Oh, this is a it's funny. This is almost gonna be like I'm trying to be so different. I'm not. This is fucking amazing. The guy, the handicap dude, that is like a sling blade guy who sees his old criminal friend's ghost talking to him and stuff. It is one of the most spooky, interesting. He made a the if you have scary and like sympathetic, you really feel sorry for this guy who's trying to play nanny, who's just this psycho trying to play nanny with this kid that he kidnapped. You sympathize with him somehow, but you understand how evil he is. This is very strange that this book didn't get more recognition. Very strange. Uh was Under the Dome amazing? Absolutely. It was absolutely amazing. This was really good. He did a really good job with that. I have IRL meme with people I know. I'm sick with rage. I'm furious, sick with rage. Tack. That comes from this. I fucking love this book. I mean, this has given me hours of one meme, actually. Let's see. Needful Things. Amazing. And then I'll get into specifics with them in a minute. This is my favorite Dark Tower book. This is one of his best books ever. I think it's gonna make top five. Let's see. Amazing. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Oh man, that hits. I wish people weren't such crybabies. If people weren't such crybabies, he might have had more books like this. He softened. He Stephen King started pulling his punches because all the complaints of that child killing his mother at the end. It was too much for people. It was great. This is horror. It is well written literary horror. And how often do you get that? Not often at all. This Pet Cemetery is really, really freaking good. Dark Half kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. Thinner was kind of funny to me. I don't know in a good way or bad way. I'm not sure. Stand is overrated. Shining is overrated. See, people are going, what? Are you trying to be controversial? Well, look, I got Needful Things in Pet Cemetery. I like me classic King. Running Man was stupid as hell. I think this is my. Oh, Misery, 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 Misery. Really good. What are my top 5 out of this? Let's see if I'm missing anybody here. Get out of here, McDonald's. I don't need your shit. Am I missing anybody? Different Seasons is close. Eyes of the Dragon, amazing. It's amazing. Let's say. Well, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up there. Okay, top 5, and then I'll discuss whether top 5. Boom, boom. That is just so good, bruh. That is so good. Uh this is really good too. See, dude, it's so hard making a tier list because the inner voice of this is it the super ego is like you can't put Desperation over Eyes of the Dragon. Eyes of the Dragon is the appropriate one. Yeah, but is it how I feel? I like this more than Eyes of the Dragon. I'm going to go with what I feel. So, one more for top 5. I'm having such a hard time keeping objective here. Okay. You know what? Here we go. And then who is the best? That's the best. What's the best here? Ooh. Oh my god. How the hell are you gonna say what's the best? This just seems so clean to me, dude. Like it was so Stephen King at his best. What he does, this was him at his best. Okay. This book, it. Do I do I do I think The Needful Things is the second book? Maybe you can make discoveries about what your favorite stuff is when you make a tier list. No, it doesn't compare to these two. My reaction to them and how I care about the books. Let me see. Okay, this is looking a little better because I gotta be subjective here. Okay, I've got to be the stuff that I like. Okay, this book is so crazy. If you say you're doing a lot of reading and you read a novel a lot, there he teleports you to Derry in a way. I'm gonna be bold here, dude. Like Harry Potter and his like wizards like academy, Narnia. dude. If you have like George R. R. Martin's beautifully fleshes out cities and countries in his literature. What's it called? King's Landing, dude. You can kind of feel it. According to what's going on in the story, King's Landing is a good reflection about what's going on. I nothing in there compares to Derry. I feel like I've lived there. I've never actually had it where I felt like a well fleshed out zone, like a fictional space is never felt more like you could reach out and touch it than Derry, Maine in Stephen King's It. He's got such a command on the environment in that book. It feels like a character. It feels like maybe that character is really like this Sidious behind Vader, who's Pennywise. Feels like the town is a character. There's something, Pennywise infects the town. It's like reading about an infected town. It's out of any town or environment in media, I believe that Stephen King's It is my favorite. It's got one of my favorite monsters. Pennywise is extremely terrifying. The scene where they're gonna go try to kill him and they're using silver or something and like a and like or they brought like a gun. Who was it? It was Eddie and somebody else. Eddie and somebody else. They go to that really sussy house down that road, and they're gonna kill Pennywise. And he reveals himself as a werewolf. When he's chasing him to the window, and the guy's letting Richie out of the window, and they're struggling to get out the window, dude. The way it is written, you could see it like a nightmare. It is some of the best writing that I've ever read, and the content is so on your seat, bite your fingernails, freaky and scary. Some of the best fleshed out characters. The Losers Club is amazing. Like how they feel like real people. Sometimes Stephen King, he does this try hard job. Sometimes Stephen King, oh, here we go. I should change this. Okay. Sometimes, oops. Um, Sometimes Stephen King tries too hard to make his characters relatable, and he kind of seems like you could see the wizard behind the curtain a little too much. You could see him trying to write too relatable. I'll give you a good example. I like the character, but Holly in his newer books, she appears in a few. I'm gonna be honest with you. Is that her name, Holly? That's a I want to make sure I'm getting the name right. That would be really stupid if I got her name wrong. Mr. Mercedes, I think, is her first appearance. Uh, isn't it Holly? Holly, yeah. Okay, so Holly. Oh, I bet you the anti woke crowd love that. Oh, they made her black. Of course they did. Oh, is it? I feel like they're just trolling right wing people at this point. Okay, so a lot of like Holly feels like Steven. You're just, I know, I get it. She's relatable. She's relatable. We care. We care. We care. So the one of the things I don't like about Stephen King's writing sometimes, he's trying so hard to make his characters likable, you can see the wizard behind the curtain, and it doesn't work for me, man. You're being too desperate about desperation. Look, it's the book. You're being too desperate about it, man. Um, these seem natural. Bill, Stuttering Bill, Richie Toyser, stu- uh, um, was it Uris, Stanley Uris? Uh, with what's what's his name? The Kishme Fat Boy, Beverly, Mike. They and I haven't read this book in years, and I'm normally bad with character names. They actually feel like good characters, but they also feel believable. Sometimes character is unbelievable because it's character. It's a perfect match of fictional characterization, like of a novel writer, but also feeling like a genuine person. They're really good characters, really good environment. Pennywise is so freaky when he talks. He does talk almost alien, yet almost like if you ever read Gantz, the way the aliens talk in that, the way the Joker makes jokes, and it's almost like so off kilter, they're almost not coherent. There's something alien about their thinking. Pennywise is like that. This book has some of the most terrifying scenes. It's some relatable characters. So the ending is just works for me so much. He actually gets a little bit outside of his own ass when it comes to talking about how it feels to live in the town, and I got a car payment, and the bill didn't come in, and I gotta check the neighbor to see if they got any flour, and they said no and shut the door real quick. They seem angry with me. I don't know why. When he goes on and on and on about that stuff, at the very end of the book, he was going like H.P. Lovecraft again. Like when he talked about the turtle and it being like eternal enemies, cosmic enemies, it was like Stephen King usually doesn't write like this. The writing was really interesting. Stephen King's easily my number one. I might just do top five and maybe do the other ones later. The way that I'm like, because, dude, is it just me or the tier list where they're like, really good, Pennywise crazy, drawn of the three? God, I thought it was so funny when the guy was, talking to an old Western gunfighter, and he's a burnout heroin junkie drug dealer. That was cool. Also, Pet Cemetery. Like, I don't like tier lists like that where they just go through it. Maybe I'll just do top five. I don't know. We'll see how long I go here. Let's see. Okay. Uh, anything else to say about that book? The writing, I'm not gonna be. I don't have my doctorates in English. There's so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to tell you the 8-syllable words for it. But there's something about his writing in it that is really a little less dumbed down as his other books. Not like sometimes his books seem like he's too over eager to be relatable and understood. There's something almost like a 10% or 20% on its way to almost being written literary. There's almost little sprinkles of literary in there. And with such pulpy, over the top genre material to be aided and assisted by very almost elevated writing. It's a combination you're almost never going to see. The How good the writing is with how crazy and over the top the material is. You're almost never going to see it, bro. I as big as this book is, I've read it several times. And to me, it's easily his best. Anything else to say about it? I don't really think the adaptations have much to do with you when you're doing tier list. Right. Oh, the journey, dude. The journey and going back and forth between them being kids at Derry and being adults and revisiting Derry. The journey is astounding. And it is the if you read a lot of this, it transports you there and really back and forth between time. I think that's another thing too that didn't make the book tedious. There's a lot of POVs and there's two timelines. So it will like Stuttering Bill back in the day. Eddie Kasprak today. You know, Beverly back in the day. Mike in the, as the librarian at the Derry Library today. There's also like little like books within books in this. When Mike is interviewing the guy that remembers the KKK burning down that building that black people were having a party at. That segment feels like a Stephen King short story, and it feels special, and it feels highlighted a little bit away from the rest of the book. There's like little cool tangential aspects of this book. This is just gold. Drawing of the Three, this is one of his most fun books in my opinion. So, um, and maybe funniest. So the interaction between what's his name? See, I'm not the best necessarily with character names. What's the guy? The guy that's like Eddie Kasprak only becomes a gunslinger. The Joker character that's always got like Sigma traits. Let's see. You got a wiki here. What's his name? Da, 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 da. Oh, it was Eddie, right? I think I saw Eddie. Oh yeah, when I first read this, that really captured my imagination too. Lobstrosity. So Roland wakes up and gets his like fingers bit off or something by this weird mutant monster, this weird mutant lobster. And then so he's got to get medical treatment from Eddie Dean, who lives in contemporary New York. So Eddie's got to get him medicine while Roland helps Eddie deal with these evil mobsters that have him running drugs. But the interactions between Eddie and Roland were some of my favorite interactions between characters. I think this was the most fun book for me. Um, is this my second favorite? Now that I'm revisiting it in my mind here, I didn't like this book better than this. Okay, when I go through these, the list may change as well. Because now that I'm thinking about reading the book, that wasn't as good as this. Pet Cemetery. So, if anybody is a parent, when you read Pet Cemetery, Stephen King does this excellent job of meditating on and describing what it would be the nightmare of losing a child, the absolute grim nightmare. Also, the writing, similar to it, this is peak King writing. When he's having when the main character is having these waking trances and is walking at night, and he doesn't really know if it's a dream or not, I think. And he's describing the pathway to the pet cemetery as he's wandering in there through nighttime. Wow, it is surreal. It really feels like it's a nightmare you woke up from at like 2 a.m. or something. And I think it's almost a quote unquote important book as well, because it's important to have the entertainment. It's important to have the bells and whistles and the adventures and the explosions. But man, he really does meditate just on the horrifying nature of losing a child, and the incredible difficulty having acceptance. See, the supernatural element to me in this book is the subtext for the dangers of not acceptance. He can't accept that his child died, is why he buries him in the pet cemetery, even though he knowing full well what kind of abomination that he could be creating because of like the cat. The writing on this was really, really good. It was a solid gut punch ending that will stay with you for days. Oh, I gotta say something about Stephen King It real quick. Uh Quentin Tarantino said basically he's ripping off Freddy Krueger. I don't know if Tarantino's doing some projection, because a lot of times, like if you look at Reservoir Dogs and like City on Fire, he borrows a lot. This dude, this is not Freddy Krueger. Okay, this is all the monsters, man. This is Pennywise becomes any classic monster that you dread. It's much more inspired by the classic monsters of Freddy Krueger. I don't, he didn't read the book. Maybe this is why he's a little confused. But no, this is not relying on Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's actually not. Read it, you know? Desperation. I love the pulpy quality of this book. I love the sheriff, dude. The sheriff is so. I'm not. I'm not trying to put anything bad on Ron Perlman here, by the way. Do I think it's number three? This might go down a little bit. I think it will. I don't think this is the three. Okay. Let's movie. I think I'm just gonna do top five. I might actually take this one. Okay. I'm not, dude. Look, Ron Perlman. Maybe some of it was the directing and stuff too. I I like Ron Perlman as a niche supporting actor as much as the next guy, but I have to say, in the book, this dude is frightening. The guy in the book, the way he's described and the way he acts. Remember how I said Pennywise almost seems alien-ish in the way that he talks with the characters? The sheriff or whatever it is. Let's see. Where's the book, dude? Yeah, the sheriff. He is frightening in the book, dude. I mean, he is like when he pulls over the people at the beginning of the book. Is this it? And the way is it? What the? Oh, it's not Angelina Jolie. Oh, it ain't looking like Angelina Jolie as much when she turned her head. I thought for like a half a second there, I'm like, there's no way Angelina Jolie was in this POS. Stephen King has got some bad movie adaptations, man. I'm not gonna lie. I love though he probably gives this movie a pass, but then dumps all over Lawnmower Man and The Shining. Oh, don't! I'm not going to start on The Shining thing. My opinion about his opinion. We're not going to do my opinion on Stephen King's opinion on Shining. Not that maybe next segment, man. I don't know. Ooh, that'd be maybe we'll see. Okay, God, I had so much fun with that book, but is it? Is it? Oh, I don't know, man. Can I really rate it that high? Can I really? Oh, oh, dude. God, I had so much fun with it though. My gut tells me I am rating it that high. Something about the survival horror with that. The sheriff is possessed. Basically, again, I guess when Stephen King goes H.P. Lovecraft, it does it for me. Because look at these first few. Something about that sheriff is so freaky, and he's kind of losing his integrity of his body over time, and he's arresting all these people, and he totally massacred people in this small town, and then he's arresting people that drive through it. It's kind of like that whole thing, like be careful where you drive through some like small town. Kind of like, you know what that kind of reminds me of? It's like his like Children of the Corn a little bit. Um, uh, I really enjoyed that book. Let's see, Needful Things. Just for that book too. Yeah, I guess I just go for fun. Okay, Needful Thing. It's kind of hard too. You do a tier list and you haven't read a book in 8 years, and you go, God, I just remember. It's funny. You ever notice that? It's like if you haven't watched a movie in a while, some of it's foggy, thinking of scene per scene, but then you just remember how much fun you had. I just remember really flipping those pages fast, finding that sheriff freaking terrifying, and finding this like a survival horror in a small. Maybe some of that's. I'm from a Southwest red state myself, so like if I think of like Jerome or Jerome, Arizona, and you think of getting stuck in Jerome, Arizona, and there's some evil, wicked, redneck sheriff coming after you. There's something really. It did survival horror right to me. There was a lot of like thrills in it too, and there was a lot of like cool, like cliffhanging stuff, a lot of intensity. Very fun. I like when he writes like that. Oh my god, dude. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Tommy Knockers. Now that I'm going down the Stephen King line of thinking, it's opening memories. It's opening doors into other thinking of other books. This book is so underrated. It's ridiculous. So, and another almost HP Lovecraft thing, aliens, right? Changing people. You know, HP Lovecraft had that theme a lot, right? Like the fish people getting changed by the weird supernatural cause. Um, this book, I love the main character, this alcoholic poet with a plate in his head becomes basically the savior of humanity through the whole course of events. Is in denial, is actually helping the aliens at first because he's kind of jaded about human people and everything, and he's under the haze of being drunk. Uh, the way that people change in this too, is really creepy. The gradual change of becoming one of the infected. And then it gives you those bizarre intellectual abilities to like design and engineer like alien weapons, and how they're basically going to take over the Earth after they take over the town. Um, the writing is super, super cool. This is super funny. They have a super religious lady where she gets infected by the Tommyknocker alien aura, as you will. The green aura of the fucking Tommyknocker aliens, the UFO. And when she gets infected, she has a picture of Jesus that talks to her and tells her that her husband is cheating on her, and she figures out that her husband's cheating on her, and she's talking to Jesus about what they need to do, and Jesus, the picture, is telling her she needs to rig the TV to kill him and all this kind of stuff. Dude, it is like that scene with the lady talking to the picture of Jesus is so surreal, weird. It's hilarious and super creepy and scary at the same time. This book, and it had one of the best endings, standoffs between the hero and the bad guy. I love how the alcoholic with the poet with the plate in his hand. I love how he takes the UFO, flies it out to space, and then like crashes it or whatever. I love how he sacrificed himself. There's characters like the kid that does the magic tricks, and everyone's bored with it, even though the magic tricks are real. And he sends his brother to an alien dimension, and then he's really regretful and stuff about it, and you don't know if that kid's coming back, and he comes back at the end. It's like a real relief. You actually feel a lot of relief that the kid came back. um the book is one of his funnier books. Yes, it's silly, like all the dolls up in the bell tower that are telling that lady that has the doll collection to like like exploded or whatever, and all the dolls go exploding all over the town. It is very strange. It is very surreal. You can detect cocaine and alcohol all over this book, I'm assuming. But dude, it was so entertaining, so well written. I love that he didn't pull punches. He didn't try too hard to be too serious. He wasn't trying to win some award. It had all the pulpy elements you want from King. It was also the height of his writing. Tommy Knockers is really good, really underrated. When people tell you it was goofy or silly or weird or bizarre, it was, and it was done in such a way that it worked. That's what I would say is most important. It worked. Really underrated, really good book. I've read it multiple times. Another character similar to Stephen King's It. Love the main character. I love this relationship he had with his old writing friend that he went to go see when things are not working out for him. As she turns more and more into the evil alien, and more and more he has to realize that he has to do the right thing, and the way that they have a standoff, and he has to get rid of her. And see, he's immune, by the way. I think it's a plate in his head or something. He's immune. He can't be changed. But he doesn't live up to his task of taking care of these guys until the end. He actually is helping them until the end. Uh, really good stuff. Uh, Underrated. Um, there's a Pennywise cameo in this too. Now that I think about it, someone's driving the street and they see Pennywise or something. I don't know if I could put this on here now that I've revisited the story in my mind and my recollection. I don't know if I can put it up there. I don't think it quite. I don't think it quite makes the cut. I'm gonna be honest. Um. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. It's Misery, dude. That might be one. That was a really, really good book. Um, Christine was okay. I don't think a top five though. Ooh, these were really good. That was really good. Cell was okay. That was really good. Um, I almost want to give Stan credit because of the. Oh, Salem's Lot's really good. Roadwork was a joke. What a underwhelming ending. Different Seasons was really good. No, I'm gonna keep this up here. God, it's been so many years since I've read this. This was really good too, though. The writing was really good on this. I'm gonna put this. So similar to It, Tommy Knockers, Needful Things. These are huge books, and I feel like they're prime king in a lot of ways because he has all these characters well fleshed out, believable, in a town, believable, dealing with some supernatural threat. It changes all the POVs. It feels like one of these really big, cool Stephen King books. It's been a while since I've read this, but some of the stuff I liked. There was like this guy coming to kill the guy, and he hid under the guy's couch, and then the guy sat on the couch and was like like suffocating the guy while he was sitting on the couch or something like that. Like there was something about that scene that really had me laughing. There's one of these like criminal scumbags gets linked up with one of the guys that was like a big status guy and the gambling guy, the big the guy with big status in the town. And they became almost like Beavis and Butthead doing the devil's will, going around being the henchmen, being like a couple of Igors. So I'll show you. Oh, and that's another thing. The movie was good, but it couldn't do justice. Gambler. It couldn't do justice to the book. Then this guy. Okay. So this guy gets hooked up with like one of the criminal scumbag guys. So it's almost like yin and yang. You have like the what was he anyway? Something like a town hall dude, and then like the criminal outsider guy. They became the henchmen for the devil in this, and they like did his bidding and did his like tasks. When they had the scenes with those two guys working together, it was like I almost wanted to root for them, man. They were so entertaining to me. Um, really, really good movie too. This was a good movie. They made a good movie out of it. But I killed my wife. Hey, these things happen. This guy. Uh, I remember memeing the shit out of that when the movie first came out. Hey, these things happen. Um, that and it's kind of my favorite type of Stephen King book, like Tommy Knockers and It. You have a huge cast of characters. You have an interesting paranormal event that they have to deal with and fight against, and it turns people in the town. It is a little bit like that too. Didn't really turn people like it does in Tommy Knockers and Needful Things, but at least keeps people asleep while Pennywise feeds. Um, is there any other book like that? Under the Dome kind of had that feel too. You got a town that's really fleshed out, a bunch of characters really fleshed out, and then a paranormal thing to kind of like um throw a curveball what they have to deal with. And it just maybe didn't hit as hard. I don't think Under the Dome hit as hard to me as Tommy Knocker's It and Needful Things. But that's my favorite type of Stephen King book. I wonder if he's done that type in a while. See, because like newer ones, not really that type, not really that type at all later. Billy Summers, not really that type. Has he done that type of book? When's the last time he's done that type of book? I'm not quite sure about that. Okay. I kind of feel. And as you can see, I actually think, now that I'm looking at my favorite books of his, there is definitely a window here. Pet Cemetery was the first one out of this, right? Let me see something. I'm wondering if I have my own like golden age of Stephen King books that I didn't even like acknowledge from before. Pet Cemetery. Okay, 1983. Wow, that was written only 2 years after. Dude, I was like the kid's age in this, man. Okay. Let's see. No, 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 not the POS. The book, dude. I like how the movie comes up before the book. Of course it does. Okay, 1996, 83 to 96, maybe. Is that the last one that came out for that? Okay, yeah, 87. But wait a minute, when did he write it? That's different, isn't it? Uh, King was inspired to write Desperation as well with Cross Country Drive, small desert community in Nevada. His first thought was they were all dead. He wondered who had killed them. Interesting. I kind of feel like between like 83 and 96 was like a Stephen King heyday. Like when was it written? Stephen King 86. This is the height of his powers right here, and that makes sense that that's right around the time of Pet Cemetery. When was Needful Things? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, but and I have to emphasize that again. Tommy Knockers is so freaking underrated. So you'll probably hear people saying stuff like, Hey, oh, that's a silly one. That was, stupid, goofy. Dude, yeah, it's got a killer Coke machine, but on the other hand, it's got a killer Coke machine. They got someone engineering a Coke machine to basically be like a bloodthirsty fucking missile. It seriously flies at high speeds and hits people like a freaking semi truck, dude. It is hilarious, kind of scary at the same time too. Um, I think that's my top five. Some of them are like something tells me, Owen, you're not putting Eyes of Dragon on there instead of Desperation. It's just, Eyes of Dragon, the literary qualities of that book, his ability to get outside of just the genre of horror yet still maintain his Stephen Kingness. You know that needs to be up there, bud. You know Eyes of the Dragon is better than Desperation. But is that what I think is I'm supposed to do because of the hype surrounding it? It's so hard to tell. It's like one of the reasons someone would be, what do you mean The Stand isn't on your top five? See, there's a part of me tempted to put it higher than I think it is. Last time I read it, I got a little bored. I'm not going to lie. I did have fun reading it the first time I read it, though. The Stand is so overrated that it makes me play devil's advocate and want to play hipster because it's so harped on about, and it doesn't necessarily live up to the hype in the way that you would want it to. And a lot of it midway becomes very tedious. Someone can't tell me The Stand doesn't become tedious at parts. Like Stephen King tedium kills me, man. That's why Doomakey, I can't finish it. Lizzie's Story, I can't finish it. I can't. When he gets locked in on tedium, I'm dead. I'm dead zoned. Long Walk, dude. That's underrated. That is really good. I mean, it's true fans like it, but this should be made a movie. Has there ever been plans to make that a movie? Stephen King, because unless I just don't understand how Hollywood works. What? What? No way. Are we kidding, dude? That's awesome. Who directed it? Let's see. This means everything to me. Pope Francis Lawrence. Not just joking. More Pope Francis jokes. What has he made? Oh, that was cool. Oh, okay. This guy's legitimate. Okay. Hey, man. I'm way down with this. That's really cool. I was gonna say, I've never understood why they didn't make a Long Walk movie. It's really intense, scary, interesting, and so simple. You're gonna videotape people walking, dude. Like Hollywood, I know you could do that. You have a hard time writing dialogue, but you can, you, like Kubrick, you could have Tom Cruise walking in and out of the door for 100 takes. I know you guys can handle people walking. Firestarter was really good. I think I'm okay with my placements here. Man, I'm having it. I don't know which one's the angel and the demon. Which one's the angel and the demon? One's going Eyes of the Dragon has got to be there, man. And then another one saying hell no. I think the demon is saying, nah, desperation. Dude, yeah. The sheriff, dude, that crazy, pulpy, mad, over the top crap that you love. And then another part of me, the angel part of me, is like, Eyes of the Dragon was so well written. It was such a novel change, novel change of direction for him, too. There was an artistic pivot that should be acknowledged. The writing, speaking of literary, when Stephen King bridges on literary, he's at his best. Oh. It ain't better than Needful Things, though. Yeah, I'm glad I put Needful Things in front of Desperation. See, it's not like I just read it yesterday. So like I said, it's hard for me to remember specific little instances and bits of dialogue, but I just remember loving Needful Things and turning the page and going, God, why did it take me so long to read this? It's so good. I thought for some reason it might be tired or like almost like self-parody Stephen King. It was not. I don't know where I got that idea, but it really paid off. Eyes of the Dragon versus Desperation. I'm sure a lot of people, if people are watching this, comment if you're like, dude, what is this guy? This guy's like looking at um Chef Ramsay just cooked a blue cheeseburger and then he's looking at a Big Mac and trying to decide. Actually, the Big Mac analogy works for me because Stephen King said himself, he's nothing more than a literary Big Mac. Okay. And then everybody repeated it afterwards, and he's like, I knew I should have watched my wording. Now I'm the literary Big Mac guy." It's kind of true though. He's Big Mac, but there's a little he's literary, but he's also like literary Big Mac, where he's like also a little literary. Part of the difficulty too. I feel like I have more of an objective respect at his ability as a writer, but I had funner with this. I had funner doing it. I love survival horror. This felt to me like this is what survival horror needs to be: is desperation. I'm going with the Big Mac. Chef Ramsay could take his blue cheeseburger and shove it. I'm sorry. I'm going with that. I'm going with the devil on my shoulder. Uh these top 5 pets. Here's the thing, Needful Things might take over number 3 for Pet Cemetery. But Pet Cemetery's gut punch at the end, dude, just dude, it just the ending of that book, it lasted with me. The end of that book hung with me for like 2 or 3 days. It's some of his best writing. I think he got real personal with it too. This idea of one of his kids dying really haunted him. I think they had a cat die or something. And the cat dying in his family really like opened up a big can of worms that he explored through with this book. The ghost haunting too, that guy that dies and he visits him. Oh, it's so spooky. It's so good. It means something too. Out of any of these books, this book has almost more value. If you want to be, it's not edification like it's trying to teach you something. But if you want that humanistic experience, like it's touching on some universal element to being alive and tackling it in an important way, this book is really about letting grief go. And it shows what happens when you don't let grief go. You got to mourn and let it pass. And this book is basically a subtextual journey about not being able to do it with really, really, really good writing. I just remember when he's in his fever dream and he goes to the pet cemetery. I remember that being S tier. Okay. something about like darkness or the moon or something. I don't remember the specifics, but he gave. I see the visual I had when I read the book, and I read this book years ago. He gave me a visual I remember to this day of going out through the woods to go to the pet cemetery. Haunting and surreal. So yeah, this is number three. But it doesn't have as much cool shit as like Tommy Knockers. Like if like a certain person I'd recommend Pet Cemetery more to a person that wants to take the stuff seriously. But for me, man, I love extremes. Like for instance, I thought Nicolas Cage was a great actor even when he was a meme and people were enjoying him ironically. Now it's become unironic to like Nicolas Cage. I've always enjoyed the shit out of Nicolas Cage. Always. Face Off? Forget about it, dude. You see, this is my style though. If you don't get my style of enjoying entertainment, you're not necessarily gonna get why that's so high on the list. Eyes from Face Off. Like, do you see that? You see this famous image, dude? You see this? This is my style of entertainment, man. So look at him doing this. That's my style. You see Nicolas Cage, the way he's acting right here? You see that? You see the, you know, I'm being crazy. That is definitely Tommy Knockers level. Tommy Knockers is Stephen King going, oh, killer coke machine coming to life, coming to kill you. Is Jesus painting talking to some lady about how her husband's cheating on her, dude. I mean, it is nutty over the top. Oh my god, the guy with the plate in his head who's an alcoholic. He's got this total obsession about how we're gonna kill ourselves with a nuclear plant. It's gonna be like Chernobyl. And he gets into this argument with this pretentious hoity-toity idiot while he's drinking a little too much. He gets in this argument with the guy about the nukes. It is so fucking funny, dude. This guy crashing out. This dude crashes out over this debate about nukes. He ends up, it seems like he kills the man. He like stabs him with a fucking umbrella or something, dude. It is so funny, nuts, and Stephen King in a cool way. Definitely deserves number two. I don't think we're gonna do amazing. We're not gonna. Well, do we keep going? I mean, I'm here to make content. Hey, I'm having like almost a meta streamer moment in my head. Metacognating on the streamer thing. If you're gonna stream, you're gonna stream. You got the time now. I don't know. Am I gonna do all this? This is amazing. I don't even know, dude. Like amazing and great. I almost want to just have. Oh, bottom five. Oh, maybe bottom five will be easier. I gave you two or three chances, dude. Wow. If you need to go to sleep, dude, this is. Remember how I said there's like. He could transport you into a dimension called Stephen King Tedium? Holy God. Oh, actually, you know what's, though? I'm actually finding this less fun to be like super critical. Do I want to do 5 books of his that are just super critical? I don't know about that, man. I don't know. I don't know if that sounds fun to me. Let's see. Well, let's just keep these for now. What's the best on this list? Almost made it in top five, but it's top of amazing. Almost, dude. I mean, I was literally make your choice. The weigher, the weights, the justice weights. I was literally like doing this between these two. Well, because the books are so different, and I love them both, but they hit me at such different levels. I had to choose between literary and pulp, and the pulp of that one just won a little bit over the literary one. Let's see. This book was really good. Blaze. You guys are gonna think I've lost my mind. This is really good. Speaking of literary, one of his more literary books, the writing is so good on this. It's really unfortunate. He had a dream that helped create this book where he had a dream that, so, like a fan, turned his skin into the bindings of a book, like the Necronomicon or something like that. Really unfortunate to me that that's not the ending. It really should be. Did this come out after Pet Cemetery? Misery came out in 87. Uh, what did I say Pet Cemetery was? 83. You want to know? I have a theory. I have a theory that Misery did not have the author being turned into the Necronomicon at the end because the such a blowback he got from the dark ending of Pet Cemetery. He's never had an ending this dark before. Revival had a dark ending. It did. But not like Pet Cemetery. No, nowhere near. It's like comparing Coors Light to Everclear. Maybe an IPA. Maybe 8% IPA. Not quite Coors Light. It hit. It hit. But man, that's your Everclear right there, that ending. I believe Misery might be a little better if he didn't pull his punches because people are such wussies they can't handle horror. Because the idea of him being turned into the book at the end is just an amazing concept. He should have been true to the dream that inspired the book. The ending where he's all PTSD'd and all that is cool. It was cool. It's kind of like a bittersweet ending. It kind of does remind me of the ending of Revival a little bit, where they're like haunted. Um, Blaze. This is Misery better than Blaze. Blaze was so good, dude. People are so missing out. Me and the 8 other people that read this. No. I don't know how this got lost. This guy, this crazy guy that keeps seeing his ex con partner and telling him to kidnap this kid and raise it, it's like a really weird version of Raising Arizona. When did this come out? Blaze? Yeah, it's like a darker version of Raising Arizona. When did he write it? Oh, interesting. Wow, that goes way back. Oh, dude, it is so good. Uh, no, I liked Blaze better than Misery. Some of it could have been too. I'll admit, some of it could have been like having this find. It was almost like finding something no one else like saw the value in. Um, that was part of why I really liked it. It was really creepy. You didn't want anything to happen to the kid, but it was like, what is this guy gonna do? How, you know what I mean? Really good stuff. Misery, Revival, really underrated. Salem's Lot, try another 3. Similar to Desperation, I just have to go with my gut, where I I just this is the best gunslinger book in my opinion. This is what really got me on the train to keep wanting to read the guns the gunslinger books. There's a perfect blend. That's what it is. That's what worked for me on this. Okay. I'm going to be able to put my finger on why I like this book so much. You got Stephen King paranormal supernatural thing, right? You got the X factor. Then you got the Y factor. The Y factor is like you're checking the mail. Someone ran over your mailbox. Was it the neighbor? You're sure it was because you have a grudge against him. Because when he went over to get flour, he said he didn't have any, but you're sure that you saw flour in his car. Must have been that son of a bitch. This is your eighth drink you've had today. Before you know it, you're standing in front of his car looking at your key. There's paint underneath the key, like blood and skin under the fingernails, and you look at his car and see that you keyed his car. Well, actually, that's starting to get to the almost like the menacing part of Stephen King, but the tedious real life aspect stuff, right? Uh, the real life stuff mixed the X mixed with the Y, the real life stuff mixed with the supernatural stuff. It's got one of the funnest blend because the real life stuff is like about drug dealers. So it's not about like the guy is chopping wood that day and it's 3-page description of him chopping wood. It's a drug dealer is the real life stuff, and the X factor is multi-dimensional traversal and a cowboy getting into a gunfight with a bunch of mobsters. I mean, dude, I loved that. I loved that his mixture of real and unreal to me was even more over the top and theatrical. The original Gunslinger book, he tried really hard to sound the most literary he's ever tried to sound. This one has got a good mix of that. Uh, it's it's up there. Under the Dome, one of the reasons I like this book so much is it's kind of in my favorite kind of Stephen King vibe. You got like a town or something, you got a POV of like 12 different people, you got some curveball supernatural thing like aliens or something. Go. I love that the media was in this. I mean, there's actually Wolf Blitzer is in this, covering this. I like that they showed the media. Like, the media doesn't cover like the Tommy Knocker thing. The media doesn't cover the desperation. The media doesn't cover Satan and needful things. The media most certainly doesn't cover Eyes of the Dragon. There ain't gonna be no Wolf Blitzer in Eyes of the Dragon. But I like that the media was involved in this. I like the good guys versus the bad guys in this as well. You know, the good guy group versus the bad guy group. It's very much like The Stand. The more I talk about this too, the more I realize I'm almost being too. Let's just do it, dude. I know. I but give me this that I'm not putting a Shining on there. Wait, no, no. Shining is overrated. The book, The Stand is overrated too, but it did have some great stuff, man. I mean, Trash Man driving around on that thing with the nuke, and God's hand basically comes down and like wipes everybody out. Oh, the handicap guy was really interesting. Remember when they had the storm and they had to get away with it? I, I I'm realizing. Okay, the last time I found the tedium too much and I put it down. I gotta, yeah. See, I came around. It is very good. Um, and this is actually one of the originals of how I like Stephen King. Multiple POVs, throw in some kind of supernatural curveball, have people survive, have weird, crazy events happen around that. You know what's funny? I don't remember a lot of Revival. I just remember loving it. I read this. Holy shit! How long ago? I read this on release. It's a it's basically like it kind of reminds me like Pet Cemetery Light. Oh, I'm not gonna do all of this stuff. I doubt it. What are we not here or what? Where is his bibliography? Wow. Let's see. Oh, what's? Oh, come on, man. They have his filmography, but not his literary works. Okay, well, it's got its own section, I guess. Let's see. Insomnia is extremely underrated. Yeah, 2014. Speaking of that, okay, my gut's telling me how to do this. If I don't remember enough, that's a bad sign. Okay, Salem's Lot too is it doesn't quite do it. Not for the top. Oh yeah. Where where the hell even is it? There it is. Okay, the only thing about Insomnia. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, the stand is almost okay. This is how I'm going to justify the stand being so low. Let me articulate it like this: the stand could have been a contender. Remember last stream that meme doing Marlon Brando? It could have been a contender. That Stephen King tedium to me takes over a little too much, and I had to put it down the last time I read it. If I'm putting something down, it's going to leave a bad taste in my mouth. You know what's funny? If I didn't try to read it a second time, this would have been way higher. But it's just I had to put it down because it got too tedious. Doesn't I can't you know what I mean? That's the flavor left in my mouth. Insomnia is so I don't even care, man. Insomnia is so underrated. What's holding this thing back is the last 100 pages. This like teleportation into the airplane bathroom is so weird to like stop that guy that's gonna kill abortion like doctors. It's so weird. And it's so like I know Stephen King. By the way, I haven't even mentioned this. Stephen King is a big time leftist. He's a big time liberal, right? If you look at his Twitter, everybody knows this. He's basically drinking a big glass, a big tall glass of warm blue Kool Aid. Um, it just felt so. The stuff with the stuff with the killing that guy that wanted to kill abortion doctors just seems so like, oh, well, in case you forgot, you're super liberal and you're going to put your political agenda in the book. So I get it. I've heard a lot of people criticize this book. I get the criticisms. It ended on a bad foot. To me, it doesn't ruin the first 9/10 of the book when he can't sleep and he starts seeing those weird entities and the slip into madness feel was worked very, very, very well for me. I just remember being completely captured by this book and flipping the pages and wondering why it was so underrated. Um, that society part of my head, we get socialized as like you're putting insomnia over the stand. I am. I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed insomnia more than the stand. I had to put the stand on though, because I don't want to be sitting here so against social stuff that I even like vote against what I know is true. The stand had many qualities of it that were super epic. End of Watch is going to be one of Stephen King's most underrated books ever, not as underrated as Blaze. That was such a dude. You know what I loved about this book? There's something about End of Watch that I absolutely fucking loved. So when you read End of Watch, you got Mr. Mercedes, not much supernatural stuff going on. Finders Keepers, not much. God, there's almost a lot of misery in Finders Keepers, I just realized. That author that was killed is a lot like the Misery author. And that guy that was super obsessed with his books is like Misery. Catherine Bates doing Woke Madlock. You guys know who I'm talking about. Uh and then not much supernatural, maybe none at all. Maybe a clue at the end that it could go supernatural. And then boom, dude, full Stephen King. People doing this dude doing mind control over like the video games or whatever it was. The guy's all like a vegetable, but he's like controlling people's minds through electronics out of nowhere. Not supernatural, not supernatural, super supernatural. I love that it decided to just pivot and almost like sideswipe the audience into it. Like it's almost surprising to hit the third entry and have that. It's really cool, really good last bit. Really, the character, I don't know if he's as likable as Stephen King thinks he was, but the main character was really likable, and it was cool to see him go out like the main character of Tommy Knockers. He's sacrificing himself at the end. Very underrated book. Not as good as Under the Dome. That's correct. Not as good as these. It is one of it. This is really good. I was surprised how much I liked it. And you know how you have diminishing returns sometimes in sequels? I was pleasantly surprised with how hard this hit for me. Um, do I like Blaze more than Eyes of the Dragon? Like I said, I think some of Blaze was like I felt like I discovered something. The objective part of me knows this writing. You can't fuck with this writing. Like this is like, ooh, almost. Eyes of the Dragon is a super good book. I think if I had to take a guess, if I'm making any error in this for my own list, it's putting this not on the top 5. Oh, it's desperation is really. I had so much fun with this book. I had so much fun with that. Ah, dude, why is that the that is the hardest one? Desperation versus Eyes of the Dragon. What a funny standoff. Desperation versus Eyes of the Dragon. They're so different though. Like, who am I giving this list to? Am I giving this list to dude that loves like Terrifier, or am I giving this list to a guy that loves Babadook? Okay, because if you like Babadook, you're doing this. If you like Terrifier, you're doing this. Good lord, that is giving me analysis paralysis. Okay. Um, is there any else that deserve? I might not do like. There's going to be a lot within this mid range. They're like, these are really good books. Dark Half almost could have been good. That got into Stephen King tedium. Stephen King tedium can really kill that stuff for me. That sucked. I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. God, I forgot so much of this, but I remember there was some good stuff in there. Like this one. I remember there was good stuff. It's almost like I can remember a general idea. That was good. This was good. Uh, definitely. Oh, well, should I demote? I like this, but I can't rate something too high. If I don't think I finished it. I think I'd like to give the book some credit. It wasn't that I rage quit it like Doomickey. I think there was like life stuff going on or something. Oh, this was really good. That was really good. There's gonna be a lot of mid range. What does this say? I don't know what that says. Well, it was good. This started off really good, and I quit reading it because I had a physical copy, and then this was okay. This just was like almost why. Joyland almost seemed like dialing it in or something. Oh, this is like really good. That was good. And then I'll arrange these as dark half. Thinner was kind of fun. Mm, what's that say? I don't know, man. Cujo. Uh, mm, mm, as you can tell, not the hugest fan. This was actually really, really good. Really good. In fact, let me see. Let me remember reading this. In fact, it's that amazing. I can't rate something too high if I stop. The tedium got me, but God, I wanted to like this. I had fun with this. No, I wanted so bad. The tedium killed it. This was so good, and the tedium fucking killed it. When he's like becomes a teacher in that small town, and they start the Stephen King tedium. Uh, God, it was working out so good too. This was I'm forgetting I had fun with this. Let me see. I had fun with this book. Somewhere around here. Uh this is good. This actually I like this book. Different seasons. It's been so long since I've read this. But it was good. Bet you if I've read this recently, it'd be way higher. It's been so long since I've read this. I love that pupil. I like it more than Shawshank. It's been so long though. I can't justify putting it too high because it's like I forgot it. Uh, dude, this sucks. I'm just gonna put it on there. Which one is that? I don't know which one that is. Uh, this was okay. Oh God, I just remembered reading that. Uh, oh, this is really good, actually. Well, I'm not including it. This to me is fiction. Okay. All right. We are right here. I had a lot of fun. This has been years too, but later is super underrated, man. I'm gonna I'm gonna bump it down one though. Can I, dude? This may be hot take territory, but I absolutely freaking believe this. Okay, and you like this is the internet. Please comment how this is like not the view you hold or 99 out of 100 people hold. I find this book so overrated. There's a few scenes, man, when Danny's cruising around the hotel. There's some spooky stuff going on for sure. Lots of stuff about Jack Torrance thinking about his play, thinking about the writing. Oh, my character should do this. No, he should do this. No, he should do that. struggling, wrestling with his writing, walking around, and then the shrub animals. Wait, that rabbit thing that was made by Edward Scissorhands. That Edward Scissorhands, for some reason, was out here making bush rabbits. That bush rabbit was closer to the fence a second ago, wasn't it? Oh my god, the bush rabbit is by the fountain. Okay. I mean, it's a little spooky. Okay. But walking around with the croquet mallet versus Jack Nicholson with the axe. I'm sorry. The movie makes this book less frightening to me because I know this is Stephen King blasphemy. That movie is so much more terrifying than the book. It's outrageous. It's almost like this staring into the reflection at the alcoholic you know you are autobiography from Stephen King than this just terrifying horror movie that Kubrick made. Find it extremely over. I would lie to myself if I made it more than later. Later, I was like, wow, the twist is there was a twist. When you find the genealogy twist. And I loved it. It felt like this fun, cool Stephen King version of Sixth Sense. I liked it more. I had a better time with it. The Shining scarier. I don't think I had. I love that this actually felt like a detective novel almost. The Outsider actually felt like a detective novel. Even more so, slightly more so than Mr. Mercedes Finders Keepers, and certainly End of Watch. These books that he made with these characters are super good. The Shining was just a little bit better written than Firestarter, though, and there's a little bit more depth there. Salem's Lot. Let me remember. No, that's better than this. It's better than Firestarter for sure. Revival's better than Firestarter for sure. Long Walk. Christine, slightly. It's getting closer to its home. I actually think that was better. That was better. Maybe The Cell, it's getting closer to home. This was so good, but I forget a lot of it. This, I think I'm underrating. I think I had fun with the Institute. The Putin. Wasn't it like the Putin? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that assassination program with the psychics. I'm under I'm underdoing this one. I don't know. Christine was pretty good though, right? Is it? I can't make Christine that low. Look at how low Cujo went too. I find Cujo overrated. Um, where are we around here? Yeah. Okay. I could speak briefly about this. Let me see. Uh oh yeah, yeah. Shazam. For sure. Like, here's the thing. No such thing as an average Stephen King novel. This guy, for my money, varies so much. I'll give you I'll give you an example, okay? These books, although both bloated, the tedium zone, dude, I cannot keep reading this and focus. Where this is just, what's going to happen to Beverly? She told her boyfriend she had to go back to Derry. He's very drunk and very upset. He's getting his belt out. But she's not doing the fearsome prey persona anymore. She's not just taking it because she's got something to do. Doesn't she have something to do? Someone to kill? She does. It's Pennywise. She doesn't even remember who Pennywise is. But when this drunk fat idiot's sitting there with his belt out, she says, "Please, motherfucker," whoops his ass all over the goddamn room. It was a nice fight, too, to get out of there. That is 1/1000th of this fucking book, dude. It is so filled with thrills and spells. Doomickey, I had a construction accident. I got a head injury. I'm learning to walk again. I'm walking to the beach. Left foot, right foot, walking down that beach. Man, did I have a serious head injury. Am I right or am I wrong? What's going on in this island? I don't know. Maybe by page 800 we can fucking figure it out, man. Like, it's really tedious. So, his quality, you know how artists vary in quality? His quality varies massively to me, like to the point where I know movies are only 2 hours, so it's different than spending your whole time with a book. But like, I've never had a Quentin Tarantino movie to me feel unwatchable. His quality varies less. You know, here's a movie maker whose quality varies massively. Look at John Carpenter, okay? John Carpenter made The Thing. He made Halloween. Uh, The Thing, in my opinion, is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. He made, oh, dude. Oh, get the puke bags ready, dude. Oh my god, have you ever, dude, Wesker or Shazam? Uh, Shazam. You've seen this, right? Like, can you believe that the guy that made The Thing made this? It's incredible. It almost doesn't seem like it's directed by the same guy. Did he just hire a bunch of other stuff? People that he's not used to working with? But Stephen King's like that. He has a high variety of worth reading, not worth reading. Roadwork is so tiring. Roadwork seems like some edgy manifesto of some dude that's all butthurt, becomes America's future shooter, but then ends on a fizzle. This doesn't even end in a bloodbath. It's like works it up. This ain't average. This sucks. It like works it up. It's not fair for me to say this is bottom 5. I just stopped reading right away. It works it up like this guy's gonna go on a Beatrix Kiddo style, rampage of revenge, and then completely does nothing at the end. Totally went out with a whimper. It was stupid. Yeah, it's like good or sucks with him. Mostly good though. Like these books all here, especially, I want to say, someone said, "Do you recommend a book?" I go when you start getting a fire starter. I'm starting to go. I don't know why. Maybe you could read something else. God, I want to rate this higher. I read the first half of this and loved it until he fell into tedium mode. I don't. Yeah, I. I'm actually underrating this. The more I think about it, it was just this was more pulpy and less literary. This was like Stephen King trying to talk down to somebody. It's like he was writing for someone that would be 10 IQ points lower than the average Stephen King reader. But it was good. I enjoyed the end too. I enjoyed the ambiguity. You don't know if he saves his son. I love that. I love that he just cut it off. Hollywood right off in the sunset endings could get kind of stale. I like ending it open. Oh, dude. It's the death of his Stephen King book. He is a brilliant writer. Most of these books here are like next level. Good stories, great characters, real good spooks, good writing. He's out of making you see what he's writing. He's one of the best writers ever to see a picture, to illustrate a picture. Good God, when this guy goes in Stephen King tedium mode. I mean, he could literally this thing of gummy dinos, this empty thing of gummy dinos. He could literally go on that stuff for 7 pages, being like, when Jerry went to CVS Health, it was a Tuesday afternoon, sprinkling rain. But Jerry said, "Isn't that strange? It's barely cloudy in the sky. It's one of those days where it's raining, but there doesn't seem to be a cloud directly over my head. How curious." He parked into the CVS parking lot in the handicap space. It gave Jerry just a little thrill. To Jerry, you shouldn't break the rules, but when you did, it should be benign enough that no one really got hurt, but you still got a little thrill. Jerry got out of his car and walked into the CVS. This is all about the fucking vitamins, dude. This is 8 pages on the fucking vitamins. I'm only talking about how Jerry picked up the vitamins. This isn't even talking about the demon that ate all of his vitamins later in chapter 3. This is just the fucking bottle of vitamins existing. Stephen King tedium is like way too much, man. But when he's very detailed and makes it real and world builds like he did in Derry, it's not tedious, it's descriptive, which sometimes he does not find a good balance. Sometimes he okay. So definitely you have him being able to flesh out details on one side of the continuum, which is positive. And on the other side of the continuum, the yang, as it were, you have it where it's just tedious. Dude, it's almost like mind gnawing, like little mites gnawing on your mind where you can't focus on it because it's too boring. Uh but I mean maybe that's part of his thing. Maybe whatever psychological mechanism Stephen King has when he's writing, he's got a superpower to make it real, but then it could get flipped around into Bizarro Superman kind of superpower and get it turned into just tedium. Because in reality, reality has a lot of tedium. It's almost like he's got the Matrix code, but then he's getting way too into every little tiny difference in dimension of the zeros and ones. It's making it too real. See, and that's why Drawing of the Three is highly rated here, because I would say it is not too real, and when it deals with any quote unquote reality, it does it in a fun, entertaining manner. You know, it's all about his loser, drug addicted brother. It's all about, you know, the person I let die back in the other book. It's all about stuff that actually more matters for fiction. Let me see. Oh, I love this. See, I love doing this tier list. This needs to be on there for sure, dude. This was so underrated. Okay. Yeah, this seems about right. Because some of these I feel like should be a little higher. But did I like Institute more than Christine? No, Christine is like one of these old school ones, right? Like Pet Cemetery. Like what would be another one? Salem's Lot. Shining, that era. But it just, wait a minute. Dude, what am I doing here, dude? I so I'm thinking so much about this stuff. When I saw Dead Zone, I was thinking of another story. The Dead Zone is super, super good. This is the one that has become topical. I am not getting political in a partisan way. There's been a lot of talk about how in the Dead Zone there's a presidential candidate that's a lot like Donald Trump. This is the one where Christopher Walken in the movie adaptation tries to kill that guy because he's going to cause nuclear war. And what happens is he isn't able to kill the guy that people say are similar to Trump, but but the guy was using a kid as a human shield and ended up losing the election. He never became the president because of the attempted assassination revealed his cowardice. This is one of those old school Stephen King books. Yeah, I liked it better than Eyes of the Dragon. It's so funny I missed this because I read Dead Zone and I forgot Dead Zone was Dead Zone. He becomes a psychic after having a bad car accident and he ends up helping people. Uh, he solves a crime with a serial killer. He kind of works up. You know the story where you work up from helping someone find the car keys, find a serial killer, and nuclear destruction in the future. But the character is so good. The writing on this was so good. You really are rooting for this guy. And very similarly to the Tommy Knockers guy, very similarly to one of the characters in it, he ends up sacrificing himself at the end, like end of watch. That yeah, it's so funny. I almost missed that. It's not like there's so many of his books, and it's been so many years since I've read them. I don't like the movie adaptation. I quit trying to watch it. It just didn't feel like the book to me. This is really a tragedy too, right? Because he injures himself as a child in an accident, and a ice skating accident, and then later in life as a teacher, he gets a significant other. They're going to get married and stuff. But then because of his car accident, it never happens. So it's so tragic. But he uses that tragedy to be able to help others with this newfound psychic ability. The way it was written was really cool. Uh, really good one. Really good classic King. If someone was in the mood for like a classic King. It's like the sixth rated one. I almost missed the book. It's one of those things you have to actually see the book to remember it exists if you've read this many. Am I missing anything else? Mm, Rage is like okay. Oh God, that was. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. What do I like it better than? Do I like it better than Firestarter? This is what I'm gonna say about this book. Never bored. Never bored. And it's short, sweet. You read it in a day. It's a beautiful thing. He doesn't do this very often. He usually doesn't come out with novels this short. So it's better than the Gunslinger. No, it's not. No, it's not better than these, dude. Is it better than Firestarter? I don't know. Firestarter is pretty good. Maybe that's a little Billy Summers, man. I don't know if you remember Shazam. I was making Billy Summers jokes at the end of reading this. Starts off pretty cool. I like how it starts. It went into the tedium area. This never went into tedium ever. Like this was Stephen King doing a wham bam thank you ma'am. Let's see. Quick to the point, entertaining every page. Why is it so low then? Well, because it's not better than these. It's not better than The Shining, Salem's Lot, Revival, The Long Walk. It's just, it's good. What else? Am I missing something else? I've read some of the short stories from like this and this. Um, mm, yeah, I think that's it, dude. I think that is it. That is so funny. I almost missed Dead Zone. That book is, it's classic King at his best. It's maybe arguably one of the best classic Kings. So if someone was gonna say, "Well, should I read Pet Cemetery over Dead Zone?" Not necessarily, because, like I said, I think Pet Cemetery was so too much for people that it ended up making things like Misery, where he pulled his punches and didn't make the author get turned into a his skin used as the binding of his final book. Which God, he really should have went there, but I really wonder if he pulled his punches because of the firewall from Pet Cemetery. So I would like recommend a book like Eyes of the Dragon or Dead Zone before I would Pet Cemetery. But for me, enjoying Stephen King, Pet Cemetery is up there. Am I underdoing Salem's Lot? The thing is, though, oh, you know something. Like I like Mr. Mercedes, but did I like it better than these? Mm, I don't think so. And that was, um I don't know if you were here for it, Shazam, but that's what I was saying too is End of Watch is the third book to a trilogy, and this is the first one and this is the second one. And End of Watch was easily the best one. You don't see that very frequently. You see sometimes stuff like that, like Terminator 2 is definitely better than Terminator 1. Anybody that says otherwise is going to give you a big fat helping of cope after that shit. Um, so it, Tommyknockers, Pet Cemetery, Needful Things, Desperation. I can't help it. Desperation is just too fun. So I feel furious. I feel sick with rage. Tack Allah. I use that as a meme IRL for like a year straight. Anytime if Nicolas Cage screamed at someone in a movie, I'd say it. If someone on the internet was crashing out over politics, I'd say it. If you're in a grocery store and someone's like, "What do you mean you ran out of paper and you only have plastic? You want me to kill the goddamn environment?" And then they drove away in their SUV. Like, I would say it. I feel furious. I feel sick with rage. Tack. That meme alone. My Stephen King meme with desperation is what's going to keep that shit on top five. Oh. No, I had too much fun with that book, and it's too underrated to put any lower. Because sometimes overrated stuff can really like make me sour, right? Like The Shining, dude. It was okay. It was a Dead Zone. You know what? I am telling you, one of The Shining's legacies is the freaking movie. And I think that the book almost like is on the coattails of the movie. The movie is one of the best horror movies ever made. I almost want to pivot into the next subject. Like, do a segment. The Shining is an amazing horror movie. Stephen King, you have to stop it. He every chance this guy gets, he comes after that movie. And it is just so ridiculous. It's like watching a chihuahua trying to nip at the heels of a wolf. Steven, don't do it, dude. It's Kubrick. Don't do it. It's like Kubrick's one of his best, finest films. You can't do it, man. Here's Johnny, dude. It's like horror gold. It's beyond gold. Gold comes from earth. It's mammon from the sky. It's mammon from the heavens. You don't get settle down, dude. It's you, Stephen King, ripping, ripping on Kubrick's The Shining. Reminds me of this, dude. Remember this? Remember this, man? This is Stephen King. This is The Shining by Kubrick. Okay? The Shining by Kubrick is sitting chilling in its airplane, having a good time, minding its own business. Here comes Stephen King. Hey, man, you were darker than my version. Hey, it was too kabuki. The acting was too kabuki. Dude, settle down. Just like Mike Tyson, Stanley Kubrick's uh, The Shining is like Mike Tyson. Settle down. Get back in your seat, Stephen King. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Uh, it really is. It really reminds me of this. You know, and Stephen King just can't help himself. Maybe at some level, because he was kind of written out. He was kind of written out of it. He was going to do the screenplay and stuff. And I know on a personal level, it was more autobiographical for him. The Shining, he said it's the closest he's ever written an autobiography is Jack Torrance. Similar to Bret Easton Ellis said the closest he's ever written an autobiography was Patrick Bateman. I think people are confused on this. They're confused on stuff like murder. They're not talking about that. They mean an essential part of themselves comes out of the character. I think when you have Jack Nicholson totally crashing out, acting like a complete screwball, terrifying, but screwball, Jack Nicholson, Shining. I like memes. Let's just stick meme in there just because we can. Like doing this. He was not expecting this. He was expecting it to be true to the book. There was so much talk about him working on the stuff. And then it turns out in the movie he's saying all work and no fun make Jack a dull boy. He had a serious script going on in the book. I think Stephen King got involved in the trials and tribulations of that guy. He took it as a assault on his ego when it was changed. Dude, it don't matter, man. You like ice cream that's chocolate? You like ice cream that's vanilla? Look, maybe the movie was chocolate and you're vanilla. That is some tasty fucking ice cream, dude. Quit denying it. Quit saying the movie ain't good, dude. Just stop. It's fucking amazing. See, so he's just wrong about that. I think it's like boomer ego stuff just getting in his way. Um, that being said, it's wonderful to be able to differentiate between a creator's personality and their opinions and their work. Because still, probably my favorite book ever made is it. Okay, let's see. Whoa, why do I have Cujo? What? What happened here? Something happened here? Well, actually, yeah. Cujo was one of those books similar to Joyland. Oh, wow, they're back to back. And kind of from a well, no, no, it's fine. It's fine. It kind of reminds me of those where it's like, yeah, and he had to write that. Okay, it's Stephen King dialing it in. That's a Cujo felt that way to me. Oh, possessed dog. It almost felt like he was self-parodying himself. Like, oh, possessed vitamin bottle, possessed webcam. Whoa, his face is becoming distorted and red. There's a possessed webcam. Like, it's like he almost started like pointing at stuff. From a Buick 8 is like that too. Where it's like, okay, it's getting old gimmick. And Joyland just felt like, I don't, were you inspired to make this? We're like inspired to make this, I'd say Misery. Misery, like this sick interplay sometimes that entertainer has with the fans and that dread. This is like true art coming from that book. True expression of how he feels and his true dread and horror. Joyland felt okay, nice. Uh Imagine if I had quit this tier list earlier, Dead Zone when I made it. So it's that I almost didn't catch this book is motivating me to keep going. Doctor Sleep. Oh, look at that. I think the sequel's better than the original. Doctor Sleep was good. Danny becomes an alcoholic, right? Because it's genetic. Uh he's helping that person that's getting hunted. These gypsy style hunters of psychic people. It's kind of like the Institute where they're hunting psychic people too, but Doctor Sleep did it best. That lady, who's the villain from Doctor Sleep? She's so scary, man. And that group of people kidnapping psychics. And at the end, Jack Torrance gets to redeem himself by attacking that lady. And he said something really weird like, Danny, I hope you dream of dragons in your sleep. That was a true good sequel. I thought Doctor Sleep was solid. Oh, almost. Oh, can you beat End of Watch? Not with that ending. Not with the fact that it took the third book in a trilogy to get Supernatural and how fucking interesting a novel that was. Close though. Doctor Sleep almost takes over End of Watch, but not quite. Under the Dome's just got way too much going for it. Under the Dome would be higher if it just wasn't. It just felt a little held back in certain ways. And The Stand, super overrated, but it's got lots of. It's a classic. The building up the communities and all that was really good. It's got some good scares. I like the ending a lot. Somnia is super, super, super underrated. This guy's delving into madness while he becomes Insomniac. And the supernatural stuff that starts happening around him, you don't know if it's him or the his condition. Um, Let me see. Is Outsider too low? Outsider was really good, but we're starting to get into the land of really good stuff, though. I think it was a little better than Wastelands. A little bit. The feeling of a detective novel, and then the revealing of these like weird body snatcher type people was really cool. Cool ending. Real cool working up to being You know what's funny? This is in the same universe as End of Watch, Mr. Mercedes, and Finders Keepers. Now that I think about it, it's almost like the um the gradual evolution of that trilogy. It starts off where you think it might be like real life killer, someone falsely accused or whatever, and by the time you get to the end, you find it's supernatural. Like it gradually gets you into the supernatural aspect. Uh, I think this, man, some of these are tough. Like Misery. Misery was really good. What do I rank that according to this? Like 10th? That checks out. He's got some really good books. I wonder if I'm gonna pivot now. Should I pivot? Some of these, did I even describe them? So, so let me gather my thoughts here. See if I'm missing anything. What did I describe? I described these. Talked about that. Are these any of these that I didn't really discuss why? I didn't talk too much about Salem's Lot. This is really good classic Stephen King. I think this is early Stephen King. He didn't really quite he didn't quite grow up to his potential yet. He was Oh, I didn't have Carrie on here. Where was Carrie? There it is. Carrie is good. It's very much in this Christine category. God, was it better than Institute though? Institute had more going for it, but it was less. There's less punch. I feel that the writing to me in Institute kind of feels like the writing is Sal. Sometimes he dumbs his stuff down too much. When he dumbs it down too much, it really interferes with how much I can enjoy it. Like I said, it's like a verge of being literary. Same with Pet Cemetery. Um, so I might end the Stephen King tier list. Any requests on subject matter, which of Shazam, because of course I have the right and even the responsibility to the stream to deny request. But is there anything that you think would be a fun stream concept? Something based on current subject matter? I'm not going to get necessarily very political though, because I have a view of this channel. So like it's like 50-50 in this country, right? If I'm talking about Stephen King, how many Stephen King people, even though I understand the guy's very liberal and leftist, how many Stephen King people want to talk about Dead Zone don't necessarily want to talk about Elon Musk's ketamine addiction? You know what I mean? I think I didn't talk about Joyland very much. It's at a circus. It's like someone killing someone. The guy becomes like a carny. They're all talking about rubes all the time. Oh, we figured out the murder. Yeah, it's pretty low for me. Cujo was tedium style, and it felt like, oh, how about a haunted dog? Some of it was scary. A lot of it was, the guy worked at marketing or something. I don't know. One thing he was talking about in the book, how he told his wife he liked something, so she kept doing it, and he didn't want to tell her that he didn't like it. I mean, that kind of stuff, dude. That kind of stuff seemed more on his mind than the angry dog. Like he was more interested in writing about that stuff than the angry dog. You know, give me Pet Cemetery any day, where the threat is like haunts you for 2 or 3 days after reading a book. Oh, there's dogs and cats too. Well, people have this whole dogs or cats. You a dog person or a cat person? When it comes to Stephen King, I'm a cat person. Pet Cemetery all the way. I'm a dog person, IRL. Stephen King universe. Apparently, I'm a cat person because Cujo sucked. Well, it doesn't suck. It was. I ranked it that low for a reason, though. What else did I not describe? This should be up here, but I stopped reading it halfway through. Same with Billy Summers. Could have been a little better. It would be fun to go with the. Oh yeah. Okay, let's do that, and then I might wrap it up. I'll do a Stephen King book tier list and a Stephen King movie tier list. Oh, that might actually be fun. Talk about hit or misses. I think oh, dude, I know somebody that constantly references Lawnmower Man, so they get to hear me rant about how Stephen King hates Lawnmower Man, dude. Did I do enough justice for these? I didn't really talk about this much because honestly, if I had read this yesterday, I bet you this Dark Tower book would be up here. The problem is it's been years since I've read it. If I forget a lot of something, I can't comment on it too much. I just remember really liking it. So remember, some of the bias here is recency bias. Although it was a while ago since I've read End of Watch. But I guess maybe like if you're so good, it doesn't matter. Like Eyes of the Dragon, it's been so long since I've read that, but it was so good. Maybe that's a recency bias. Maybe that would beat Desperation if I read that again. Okay. We did the books. I think I did that, Joss. I was doing that for a while. I hate tier list videos where they do this. Oh my god, it was so scary. Oh my god, dude. What was up with Beverly and the rest of those people? That was so weird, bro. Tommy Knockers, weird. Pet Cemetery, dude. Spooky cats in the shower. Needful things. Like, I hate tier lists like that. Like, make me believe your opinion, dude. Okay.